Hi guys. I guess we finally got to see the finale of The Walking Dead season 10. And I think there'll be 6 or 10 more episodes next year for season 10. I'm just not really I'm not really clear what's going on with that. And then season 11 in, 2022. Yeah. But yeah, finally got to see the finale. Yeah, there was some things I was kind of let down on, but then there was some things that made me happy. But yeah, I'm gonna say because in the comic it felt like No Way Out, but part two, the final part with the Whisperers, even though some of them survived. Because yeah, in the comic, like some of them survive, and then later on, which Jesus is actually still alive in the comic when the Whisperers come back, like Jesus and Aaron basically finish him off, and the way how they did it was kind of disappointing, but that like the previous battle, like what was supposed to be the last battle, that you could compare to No Way Out. Wow. And I'm just surprised that they wasn't able to do it better in the TV show, because they definitely had the right elements. They just didn't really execute the ending that well for me. Yeah, I'm kind of let down on the ending when it comes to finishing off the Whisperers. And it doesn't look like any survived as well, so yeah, it seems like it's the end for the Whisperers, especially since the show's cancelled, so there's no point, continuing it on the Whisper storyline. Because they were still alive in the comic, like, after this section, yeah. It was able to get away, and there was also a major character death, which was, Andrea, since Andrea was actually still alive and was a epic character in the comic, compared to the TV show where she died in season 3 and was just an idiot. I'm sorry, she was an idiot. But in the TV show, she was like on the level of Michonne. Like, she was better than Michonne in the comic. Well, basically, Michonne in the TV show took elements from, Andrea in the comic, so yeah. And in a way, Michonne replaced Andrea. And I just wonder what would happen to Michonne if Andrea never died and she actually became a great character. Yeah, I think about that sometimes. But yeah, even though some parts disappointed me, like especially, not getting to see a full Negan and Beta fight, because in the comic that was so sick. Even just looking at the pages, like it just seemed so cool, and it just sucks that we didn't really get to see him proper fight, because Daryl just comes in and kills Beta. Yeah, he like stabs him right in the eyes, so it wasn't really a long fight. It was like 30 seconds, did I say? A 30-second fight. Because I'm sure, like, wait, when man, because I'm sure do Beta actually? No, I don't think Beta actually takes on Michonne and Dwight in the comics, since Dwight's around when they're fighting the Whispers. Dwight and Michonne, like, they're the ones who wear the mask in the comic, and it gets to a point where I guess everyone wears the mask in the TV show. Because they think of a plan to try and escape. Because basically the walkers that the Whispers were sending, that Beta was sending, was going straight towards them, and the only way to draw them away was getting something that could distract them, like some type of noise, but further away from where their place is, so they could draw away the walkers up until they can get to like this cliff, and that would get rid of them. But yeah, so yeah, Beta, like, come on, Beta could have went. Well, the thing is, I don't even know what to think right now, because in both the TV show and the comic, he didn't really go out that well. Yeah. I'm just sorry, he didn't really go out that well. At least if they was gonna kill him, like, we could have got a proper Negan versus Beta fight, and say there was like a situation where, Negan was just about to die, like, it looks like he was definitely dead. Which there was a lot of that in this episode, where I thought characters were gonna die, but then they don't. Yeah, I'm surprised no one major died, especially in the climax of the Whisperers. I'm very surprised. I didn't think Carol was gonna die when she went over to the cliff, but yeah. And I'll talk about that scene a bit more later, since it includes Lydia as well. But yeah, I'm so surprised, because Like, there's a situation where Eugene gets, like, because they're basically exposed, and there's like thousands of walkers. Like, it seems like there's way more in the comic than the TV show, because it seems like they took care of a lot of them when Carol, blew up that cave. So it seems like maybe Carol actually did get rid of a lot of the walkers, but what happened to Connie. But yeah, we get to see Connie's fate in this episode as well, which is the coolest thing about this episode. Apart from the ending, it was a I don't even know what would I rate this episode. An 8 out of 10. It's not 9 or 10 out of 10. Definitely not, because the comic just did this way better. The amount of walkers, the reveal of someone being bit, like a huge character being bit by a walker to protect Eugene, like Jesus. Like everything that happened in that, oh my god, it did so much in the comic compared to this. I'm kind of let down that I waited this long to see how they execute, one of the best moments of the comic, and I'm kind of disappointed because it's not a bad episode. I'm just like disappointed, and I just wish I could weight it higher, but they just didn't do enough to, get that rating. Yeah, and I'm just gonna move on now. Alright, so Maggie comes back, but it isn't really explained where she's been all this time, but she still makes it back just in time. But then I wonder when they actually sent that letter. I can't really remember. But yeah, it's obviously someone from the Hilltop sent it at the time when the Whisperers, was attacking them. But like in this last moment, though, no, they probably did it a while back. While I think it was maybe after, like straight after what happened. When the Pikes. Yeah, I think it was the Pike scene. Someone must have sent a letter then about the people who have died, and even more has died since as well. So yeah, the moment she seen that, she probably came over to help. I just wonder how much backup she has. And this hooded guy, we still don't know who he is. He's still a mystery. Some people say it's Morgan's son, which we've talked about that before. It must be. Oh man, I really want to know who he is. It just sucks I didn't really get it. I wish this was an extended episode. Maybe I couldn't really do that because of. Oh man, maybe it's the virus again. The virus has messed up so much. It's delayed movies. It's cancelled TV shows. Even my favorite TV show, The Walking Dead. Maybe that's why they couldn't really give us a epic conclusion to the Whisperers storyline, and they didn't really want to do a war as well. So yeah, they cancelled that in a way. Or maybe this is how the episode was supposed to be anyway. So they just really needed to do the editing, because I don't think they finished with the editing, and that's why it took so long. But oh man, it just feels like it should have been an extended episode, but they couldn't really do it for some reason. And I think that reason is because of the virus. Yeah. But yeah, maybe I just want to see answers soon, next year. I'm just not sure when we're gonna get those 6 to 10 episodes. There's so many answers. There's so many questions right now. I just really want to know who this guy is. So yeah, it was revealed this is the character that basically dies. Basically the only. Well, she's not really that big of a character, really. She's just a member of the Oceanside, who I mostly remember seeing in the Terror episode when she first finds the Oceanside. Because, they was kind of hostile to Terror, because they didn't really trust people from the outside because of what the Saviors did to them when they killed all the men in their community and just left the women. But yeah, it wasn't really a big death, especially since she's the only one who died, and because there was moments where Gabriel was gonna die, but he survived. I was actually worried for Eugene at the end, like maybe he was just gonna get shot out of nowhere. I wasn't really sure. Who else did I think was gonna die? I know Carl wasn't gonna die because of the spin-off, like that was announced, so I just know for the rest of the show, Daryl and Carl are safe. They're not gonna die. Yeah. We didn't really get a huge character death. This is like a maybe C list. I can't even say B. Yeah, she's like a CD list character because we didn't really see her that much. It's kind of like when it's when they're ending the storyline, like when it was ending the Savior storyline. I guess we seen her then. I think I can't really remember the times we actually seen her character. So she's not really a big death at all. But she did go out making sure that, they can complete their mission. So I guess I have to respect her for that. And really, the funny thing is, I kind of know her more on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she's like can I even say B list? Because I did notice her character more in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, yeah, so I've seen her in a few episodes in that show. It seems like she got more screen time compared to The Walking Dead because they didn't really focus on the Oceanside too much in the TV show. Maybe a little bit more in the TV show because it's the same with the comic. They didn't really focus on them that much. So maybe we should get like something where, when there's gonna be another spin-off where it's like Tales from the Walking Dead or something like that. Well, that's just the name that I always thought of because I just knew in the future that they would make a show where they tell tales of just random storylines from the Walking Dead. And one of them should be about, the Oceanside. I just want to see their community properly. Especially before, all the men got killed off. But yeah. That's my thoughts on that. Alright, so the Whisperer's plan was to stop the survivors from escaping. So some of them actually stayed outside to take them out, some of the survivors. Since they was trying to get out and then make some noise from the outside to draw away the walkers. Which you know how that goes. Since they're able to achieve that and draw them away. But then they also sent in people to go inside and take out the ones who are defending them. The people outside our group. Since there's some with crossbows who are making sure like none of our survivors get killed. Which was a good plan. I didn't even think of that, Because there's moments where, some of the Whisperers who are, just hidden inside of the walkers. They try to take out some of our main characters. But luckily, they have aid from above. Yeah, they have high ground attacks, so they'll be safe. But then it gets to a point where, it just gets really intense. Because this is one of the things, this is one of the things that I loved about the Whisperers in the TV show, they definitely made things a lot more intense. Because in season 6, we got to see, we could go through those walkers because yes, they did that in season 1, but when we got to season 6, there was in a situation where there was in a tight area, they couldn't really move around too much. And then with this, it's kind of similar, but then there's people pretending to be walkers as well, so that made it more intense. And that's something that I loved about the Whisperers in the TV show. Definitely made things, more interesting to watch. So yeah, that's something I'm going to miss. But yeah, they did have a good one. It's just I just wish they had a better ending. Yeah. Because seeing Beta and Negan just, have a proper fight, and then, when Negan's probably going to die... Oh yeah, oh my god, they missed out on another thing as well. Because in the comic, Negan is fighting, Beta, and when Negan tries to, Lucille him, his back breaks. And then Negan's like, no, Lucille. Yeah, we never really get to see that in the comic. I mean, the TV show, sorry. Because that's what happens in the comic. When Negan and Beta are fighting, oh my god, I just missed out so many things. For once as well. Because yeah, we do get a comic moment at the end, but they definitely missed out a lot of things. Kind of sucks. Makes the ending a bit cheap. Because obviously things were going to work out, but they truly worked out. There was no deaths. Non-important deaths anyway. Yeah, someone still died for them to achieve what they was doing, and I think there was still 1 or 2 red shirts that died as well from the Whisperers and the Walkers. But they still managed to, achieve their goal. Because even Negan, he didn't want to go out there because he basically had two enemies at that point, because he killed the leader of the Whisperers, and then like he also helped, Alpha attack everyone. So, a lot of people didn't trust him as well, so I don't blame him. Yeah, Delo said that he should still go outside to prove himself, but he basically had enemies everywhere at that point. He barely had any allies. Man, he's still come a long way though, because he wasn't really a hero type, but he only beats a hero when he needs to be, and this was one of the times. And I just start seeing when he says, is it shithead or something to Beta to draw him out, and then Beta just comes charging. I guess that was a dumb move. It just sucks how quickly Beta died. Man, it sucks. I guess the Dao and Beta fight was the best fight we got. And then we got the Alpha and... Yeah, I said Dao and Beta fight. And then there was... Because Dao basically fought both of them. Because they even made the Dao and Alpha fight actually look cool. Which is something we never got in the comic. Seeing Dao and Alpha fight was actually really cool. The way how they did it. Oh, this last fight, like, finally seeing Negan and Beta fight, extremely disappointing, and probably like the weakest fight in the whole show, because we've seen so many incredible fights. Michonne versus the Governor, Shane versus Rick versus Negan. There's several parts when they fight as well, but part 2 is my favorite. Part 1 is a bit short, but still better than part 3. Especially since, Rick uses Cal to defeat Negan. If you know what I mean. Mentioning Cal. And then, Negan gets ulterior. And that's when, Rick just knocks him out. Knocks out Negan. But yeah. Yeah, it was definitely disappointing how they went out. It could have been better. It's kind of similar to, like, the Whisperer's final moment in the comics, where it was extremely disappointing. I'd say that's worse. They tried the best that they possibly could because of the... I just think like the virus situation kind of affected the Whisperer's ending. I just hope they do the Commonwealth, okay. Because the Commonwealth actually the Commonwealth in the the comic are kind of like... It felt like Game of Thrones in a way, with the way how things go. Like, it's not like cliche... they fight a villain, they lose some, and then they finally win in the end. It's not that kind of story. It's really different. It definitely brought a lot of Game of Thrones vibes when I was reading it. But yeah, let's talk about the Commonwealth now. Alright, so yeah, this was like a really cool ending, because they was trying to find Stephanie, the one that Eugene's been talking to, but instead they get surrounded by the Commonwealth, because Stephanie probably has to tell them that they're there. Like, there's no way she's gonna go by herself. I don't even know if she is there right now, or they're not gonna meet until like they get into the Commonwealth community, which TV fans probably don't even know what the Commonwealth is. But yeah, there definitely been something interesting to the the comic anyway, and now we're gonna see that in the show, because we can see like a comic page right here. It's kind of very similar, and this scene when they get surrounded, and we get to see the Commonwealth soldiers. But then this is also creating another big question, because there's actually another group like them out there, but are they related to the Commonwealth, or is there like several factions of the Commonwealth? There's the ones in the white, which we know from the comic, and then there's the black ones. Because we do see ones in the black, like the ones who we see now in The Walking Dead World Beyond, and even Fear the Walking Dead, which is kind of behind the Walking Dead story. Oh, it's so weird. Because yeah, Fear the Walking Dead's behind right now, but it seems like it's the same group. I don't know. Maybe it's actually a different group. I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do, since we got the normal Commonwealth soldiers, and then there's those black soldiers out there. Because we do get to see one of the people in Fear the Walking Dead, since one of our characters in Fear the Walking Dead makes a relationship with one of those soldiers. So I don't even know who they are yet. Or if you'll get more answers in Fear the Walking Dead in November. We just have to wait and see with that. And then there's the movies. Right now, the only thing we have is World Beyond. Like, maybe they can reveal some stuff for us for now. These next 3-4 weeks. Until, well, what's the date of Fear the Walking Dead? Like, well, when we get to Fear the Walking Dead, I want to see what happens to Morgan if he's going to live. Because even though we see him walking around, he has these red eyes. And I'm not sure if he's been bit or anything. So we possibly could be seeing his final times on the show. Well, in the universe. As a whole. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see where that goes. But yeah, in this moment, I thought like it was gonna do a twist where instead of, the Commonwealth surrounded them, then taking them to Stephanie, like Eugene was gonna get shot. So it was kind of a setup the whole time. Like, just imagine if they did that twist. But nah, it's still the same like the comic. And I'm gonna move on to another character from a previous season now. Alright guys, so I'm not sure if you remember this character. I'm not sure if she revealed a name because I can't really remember. But there's also those 2 girls who was with her that was like twins or something. That was kind of like a comedic duo or something. But yeah, I'm not sure if she's going to be this character from the comic. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, it just seems like they should go in that direction anyway. And they also have this... I was just going to say that. They have the same earrings. So what? It still might not be her. But imagine that we met her character like way back then. And that was a long time ago as well. So I'm not sure about that then. That was like season 6 or 7. I can't remember the exact... What season was it? It was between season 6 and 8 and all that, but I can't really remember now. I just can't remember. No, it wasn't in season 6, no. It was between 7 and 8. I think it was season 8. Man, I'm not sure. But this would be like a very, very long time. But it makes sense since I think Maggie's the one who, was into these characters anyway. And she could be related to the Commonwealth. These new characters that they're going to bring into the TV show. And I just don't know if she's going to play as that character from the comic. It could be her. But wouldn't she look older since it's been 10 years since then? I don't know. Alright, so I'm going to talk about this character again. You probably recognize this guy who went crazy on Michonne and tried to kill her. He basically trapped her, and she had those hallucinations. And then like he gives some information where Rick is. Then Michonne disappears to go look for Rick. Did the group know what happened to Michonne? I don't think Judith has told him yet. She probably will. I'm really intrigued to see how they end the show, going into where Rick is and looking for him. I'm very intrigued to see that. But yeah, this character basically finds a character who we thought was dead, which is Connie. Yeah, she looks like she's in a bad state as well. Like, I can't imagine how she survived that. Yeah. Oh, I was so scared for such a long time, especially since she has a movie coming out, Eternals, Marvel's Eternals. That's been delayed anyway. But yeah, I'm just happy she's alive. I was so worried, especially when Kara and Dawa had their own spin-off, so they're already gonna go somewhere together anyway, and the Connie and Dawa thing is never gonna happen. So it seems like the Kara and Dawa relationship is definitely gonna happen then. We're just not going to see these, like, Dawa and Connie together. Because it was getting to a point where I'd actually like to see that. Because at first I was like, really, guys, you go in there. It's kind of like with The 100, with Bellamy and Clark. At first, when I was hearing people saying that they want them together, I was like, really, can't they just be friends? And then by the end, especially when they're together in real life, I was like, yeah, they should be together, but then... For people who have, seen season 7, you know how that goes. Jesus. But yeah, I'm just very happy that she's alive. Yeah, this is the best thing that came out of the episode, that she's alive. I'm just happy she's not dead. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. But yeah, guys, it was a great finale, but I just wish we got more. It was cool to see the Commonwealth in their original armour, But it's also made me confused because we see these black soldiers as well in helicopters. Because I'm not sure if they have helicopters too, or that's just that mysterious group. I just don't know how much I should talk about from the comics right now. It'd have to be a separate video. But yeah, it was cool to see him in the TV show with the original armor from the comic. Yeah, that was very cool. But yeah, guys, it was a good finale. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to see more like from what they did in the comic. Like the comic was just so epic with how they ended it, and I'm just let down with how they did it in the TV show. There's one more thing I didn't really talk about, with Carol, and how she was willing to sacrifice herself to get rid of the walkers because maybe she has so much guilt at this point, like all the people that have died, especially that recent death, which wasn't really a big deal to me, but man, knowing that she couldn't help in that moment. Yeah. But Lydia was there, like, since, Negan helps Lydia sneak out when, the Whisperers attack, and then Lydia goes, like, well, she puts on her mother's mask, which she gets from Negan, and then, she helps, draw out the walkers. Instead of, it just being Carol. Yeah, that was a cool moment. Also, when Beta sees Lydia in Alpha's mask, that was cool too. But yeah, Lydia's basically there to stop Carol from doing what she's doing, and basically none of them die, because they tried to make us think that Carol's gonna die, but no. But yeah, it all worked out. They got rid of the walkers, just like that. They all fall off the cliff, and that's pretty much how it ends. But yeah, it was a good episode. I wanted more, but oh well, we're gonna get more soon. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.